The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete. That is crazy
As I
stuff.
said, Freitas is on the grass on the infield for 4. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
Friction is heat. You know, you take an engine where the lifter goes up and down, pushes the valve up and down, it really gets hot right there. That's where oil breaks down and where we have failures. AMSOIL, on the other hand, it's a true synthetic lubricant. It's just idling right there. It doesn't even know it's being used. In other words, 300 degrees is whole hum to AMSOIL.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Round 5 of the 2015 American Sim Racing AMSOIL Truck Series. Tonight, the guys go to one of the most unique venues in the repertoire of NASCAR-sanctioned ovals. Darlington, South Carolina is home to some of the most intense and best racing around. I am your host, Brian Corwin. Joining me tonight is Sean Ambrose. Joe Peak is our resident director calling the shots, and as always, our camera sets are provided by Dougie Beard. First of all, folks, I'd like to apologize. We are having a few technical difficulties tonight, so we will be working very diligently to get those demons out of the bag. But let's talk about Round 5 tonight. Round 5 will be, yet again, another game of patience. Darlington is not known for passing opportunities. However, it is known for one of the most ever decreasing radiuses into Turn 2, where the wall basically comes out of nowhere, preventing drivers from running the low line all the way through. And it also presents a very tough challenge for all of the people trying to make setups tonight. Luckily, this is a fixed setup, so only one person had to make the burden. Darlington is also one of the most narrow tracks in NASCAR, so it is very hard to make those passes. There's going to be a lot of pushing and shoving tonight, so everyone is going to be very patient to get things going. Sean has more information on tonight's event, and he will run us through what we have in store for Round 5 live here on the Global Sim Racing channel.
Well, tonight for Round 5, we are here at Darlington Raceway. The Lady in Black, the track too tough to tame, has many names, a lot of history here. It's actually NASCAR's original super speedway, quote-unquote super speedway. As you were saying there, Brian, they're going to run that fixed setup around this 1.366 mile track. They're 100 circuits around here tonight, around a really tough track. There's a lot of banking in play here. Both turns, both ends of the track are different degrees of banking. 1 and 2, about 25 degrees. 3 and 4, about 23 degrees. Your front straightaways are a little over 2 degrees in banking. But the real trouble, like you said, they're in 2. But I got to tell you, coming out of 4, after turning a bunch of laps here, coming out of 4 is a bear, man. And if you don't have that car handling real well, it's going to want to take off right to that inside barrier there. And that is not a fun place to be, because when you only get one reset tonight, one fast toe here, boy, you're really going to have to mind your P's and Q's and be on your game. This is a driver's track. If there was ever a driver's track in NASCAR, this is the one. Only a 75% fuel load, so if these guys get running long green flat laps, that fuel strategy will come into play tonight, Brian.
And while we're talking about it being a driver's track, we're also going to talk about a little bit how this is a driver's championship. Right now, Dan Murray is leading the points chase with 168 points. He is our current leader. Right behind him is Ricky Harden with 157 points. He's currently trailing by 11. Tommy Ryan is in third place. He has 156 points, trailing by 12. Right behind them is James Krahula with 137. He's trailing by 31. Gary Whitson is trailing by 36. He's currently in 5th place. In 6th place, we have Keith Medeiros trailing by 40. Trailing by 42 is Tim Johnston with 7 points, 7th place. And in 8th place, we have Alex Bates with negative 54. In 9th place, we have Adam Blattel, the organizer of the league, and he is trailing by 56. And in 10th place, we have Reed Rundell. He is our top 10 finisher, and he has negative 57 on the leader. I just want to remind our folks tonight that you can feel free to chat with us on social media during the race or on YouTube and Twitter at GSR Channel, and also at Facebook at www.facebook.com/Global Sim Racing Channel. Now, it does seem like we have a lot to talk about tonight. One of them being that turn 2 wall, and also the turn 4, how those are very tight corners. And, well, you know, in my experiences, Sean, this track is very, very tough on the drivers as well as the tires, especially with the narrowness of the track. There's not a lot of banking, and there's also not a lot of apron. So any mistakes can be the only mistake you get. You know, you might be out of the race before you're even in it.
Well, you know, we've all heard of the Darlington strike, and you're going to get that here because really the fast line around this track is up around the top, and when you get up top up there, that truck you're so close to the wall running that line up there, you're gonna scrape a little off. You're gonna see a lot of scuffed up right side trucks this evening, Toyotas, Chevrolets. They're gonna be a little banged and beaten when this thing is over. But there is no doubt the best way around this track is around that top. We'll see some guys that get their trucks to handle in the middle, but no question it will be tight racing. The addition of the safer barriers here years ago made these straightaways a little bit more narrow and a little tougher to get through, and the turns are always a challenge here. And as I said earlier, getting off 4 is going to be a big challenge tonight. I hate to say it, but I think we might see trouble tonight here early.
Well, speaking of trouble, we did have a lot of trouble last week, the last race at Martinsville, where we saw a lot of yellow flags, and these drivers are going to have a lot on their plate tonight, trying to keep themselves clean and out of trouble again. Now, let's talk a little bit about Tommy Ryan right now, and the qualifying times I'm looking at, he is showing with a 30 flat, .045, and then Keith Medeiros, who has been relatively quiet this season, but still a very fast and conservative driver. He is very, very close. As a matter of fact, everybody in the grid is within 6/10 from one another. Now, this is the type of racing we've seen all season long so far in the ASR AMSOIL Truck Series, but, you know, Tommy Ryan looking to put together back-to-back wins in this series.
Yeah, well, you know what? Tommy is right up there with everybody else, looking pretty good tonight. So I don't know. We'll see here, but he is right there at the top in the qualifying session. So this could be his night. But you know what? Clean air is the place to be here. But because we get around this track in 30 seconds, the back of the field could show up pretty quick. I mean, we're going with a full field here tonight, 32 trucks. So this is going to be a challenge here tonight, Brian.
Well, let's go through the starting lineup here now as we see cars gridding up. The pace car is just in front of everyone. Right now, Tommy Ryan is our pole sitter, followed by Keith Medeiros in second place. Ricky Harden's in third place. Ryan Howard's in fourth. Dan Murray is in fifth. Todd Guerin is in sixth. Ty Hester in seventh. Jonathan Claudel is in eighth. Let's see here. Christopher Ginn in ninth place. Brandon Jones is in 10. Jeffrey Belt's in 11. James Krahula is in 12. Daniel Murphy in 13th. Jared Aggerty in 14th. Tim Johnson in 15th. DJ Beverly is in 16th place, followed by Jesse Fowler in 17th. Skip Witt in 18th. Paul Boswell in 19th. Michael Krobach is in 20th. It looks like we have Alex Bates in 21st. Aaron Cleanhands a little bit farther back tonight. He's in 22nd place. Tanner Sharp 23rd, followed by Jeffrey Gilliam in 24th. Benny Ellison's in 25th, followed by Mark Allen in 26th. Jim Foose, the league president and organizers, in 27th place, followed by Sean Music in 28th. And Stephen Bahula, 29th place, followed by Michael Kunik in 30th. Now, Sean, as we go around the grid here, let's get a couple picks in tonight. Who do you want to look at?
Man, I'll tell you what. Dan Murray caught my eye earlier. I think Dan Murray's got a good shot. I like Ty Hester in that number 68 machine this evening. Ty, I think's got a good shot to win this thing. But I think right now I'm going to keep my fast money on the fast number 5, Dan Murray there, starting in 5th position tonight.
And I'm going to go with myself. I think I'm going to go with Mr. Tommy Ryan. He's had a great season so far, so I'd like to see him put together a good race. Now, I'll see here. I don't see the cars moving quite yet, but this is a very quick pace lap. We don't have a lot of time to go around the pace notes as now we are getting moving. So I'd say the key to the race, Sean, is keeping the car clean, getting out in front of the pack early, and hopefully staying out of yellow trouble. Do you have any other notes to add before the drivers go green?
You know, honestly, I think really you need to just be patient here. Let the race kind of come to you. If it means laying back a little bit and staying out of the carnage, I think that's really the thing to do tonight. You've got 100 laps. You've got a ways to go here. Settle in, get your truck running well, get those tires warmed up real good, and then maybe start taking some of those chances.
And it looks like we had end-of-line penalties given to Daniel Murphy, Jared Haggerty, and Steve Bahula. Not exactly sure what the penalties were given for, but they are present, so that will be something to think about in the race factoring through. If these guys are faster than they appear to be in qualifying, and they might be working their way through the field and maybe causing some trouble for the guys that are fighting for every point that they can get. But that's neither here nor there. We are coming around turns 3 and 4, about to take the start-finish line for the first lap. Everyone's bunching up nice and tight. We have Tommy Ryan on the left front in that black and yellow car. Keith Madero's in the orange and blue on the outside. Tommy Ryan gets a good jump. He's leaving the whole field behind. Right behind them, Ricky Hard in that blue and black 15 car. In the 33, we have Ryan Howard has nowhere to go. It looks like everyone's trying to get single file up here in the front. 15 nice and clean, a little wobbled there, but he is all right. Tommy Ryan trying to do what he can. He's staying off the wall, taking an early turn in. That's the way to hand here.
Jim Foose around in one.
And it looks like we already had some issues. This is what we were talking about, folks. Turn 2, if you get stacked up going into turn 2, or even coming through 1s and 2s, there's nowhere to go. So it looks like Sean Music also might be involved in that, and we'll get a better look here.
Yeah, Steve Bahama got caught up in that too. A few damaged trucks here as we see him running away smoking here. It's not a pretty scene back here over coming into 3 right now, as we see Jared Haggerty has some pretty significant damage on that Chevy Silverado there. He's going to need some repair on that. The rear end's all torn up, so's the front end.
I couldn't tell if that was net code, but I was watching the number 42 and the number 2 coming into turns 1 and 2, and then the car on the top side just kind of snapped around. We're getting a replay once again, and they'll give you a better look at what happened. Right now we're looking at Jared Haggerty on board. He is in that red pickup truck, and let's see here. We're going into turn 1. We have a car down low. Not sure exactly what he was doing down there. And yep, it just looked like a weird random snap around. Haggerty has nowhere to go. T-bones the number 42. Unfortunately picks up a lot of damage, and everyone is just getting piled up right behind them. So yeah, Sean, it just goes back to say turn 2 is where a lot of the action is going to be tonight, and we just saw it there. Everyone trying to find their way to the bottom side to get through that corner before the wall count comes into play.
Yeah, and I think just that little bit of wall contact there by Music, I think just got him out of shape enough there to go down into Foose. And tough break for all those guys there at the back of the pack, just trying to settle in like we talked about there before the green flag drops, just trying to settle in and let the race come to them a little bit. Unfortunately, the wreck came to them too soon. It's we didn't even get lap 1 in the books fully there without that happening. So that's unfortunate, but they're going to get their one last reset here. And they're going to get a chance to go back to racing here. They're just going to have to do it again from the back of the field.
And it sounds like Mr. Sean Music is taking the blame for that, saying that it was all him. So it looks like tempers are going to be relatively cool. Everyone's just going to be lining back up here, and it doesn't look like anyone's a lap down. And if they are, it was before the pace car came around. So we should have a relatively short yellow flag here. I think this time around we may see the lights go out, so we're going to stay here, not quite go to break yet. Just wanted to see a few other notes. It looks like Tommy Ryan had a good start. I don't know if he jumped a little too early, but it doesn't look like the race officials are going to say anything about that, so everything looks legal there. Keith Madero's will definitely have to come around and have a better start. Maybe wake up just a little bit more if he's going to have a chance of beating Tommy Ryan in the turn 1. And as we saw, passing here is going to be very tough, so Keith, might be playing a conservative approach, but it all starts in the front, Sean. It seems like at this track, if the first guy is lazy, the whole track stacks up, and that's when we start getting these turn 1 and 2 situations that we just saw. Any thoughts?
Yeah, well, the dreaded accordion effect, right? I mean, that's what you've got to try and avoid. It's so early right now is the time to. You don't have to win that thing in the first turn there, or even coming off of 2. You really just want to protect the car, and all these guys that just got caught up in that incident there, that should be the only concern here at this point. I mean, you want to finish here. You want to get a good finish. You want to get the best points night you can. You can't let the lady in black come up and bite you early in this thing.
Absolutely, and we are doing a 74-lap race here, and these lap times we're looking at 30-second laps. Everyone's going to have a very good chance at making these spots up down pit road, so keeping the car clean and making these pit stops flawlessly is definitely where the race is going to be won today. Tommy Ryan coming around the pace car lights are now off. We're going to go back and see if any positions made any changes, but I'm looking at it, and I think the yellow came out before anything could really happen. It looks like Brandon Jones went from 10th place to 9th place, and a few others may have snuck in. DJ Beverly moved from 16th to 11th. It looks like Tim Johnson went from 15th to 13th, but overall, it seems the rest of the field is as it was during qualifying. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Now the pace car's coming down the backstretch into turn 3 and 4. Sean, we're going to get back to some green flag racing here.
Hey, Michael Crowbrock was your big mover there. Went from 20th up to 15th in the hunt. Into the top 15 for Michael Crowbrock, the number 7 machine.
Pace car coming around in the turns 3 and 4. You can kind of get an appreciation for how narrow turns 3 and 4 can be. Looking at these cars double wide. Pace car is jumping down pit road. Tommy Ryan is taking a lot more conservative approach this time as we see the 15 getting stacked up. The Jimmy John's car behind the 54 also got a little taken off guard there. Taking a nice run. Tommy Ryan going into turn 1 by himself. Keith Medeiros on the outside in that number 22 car. The 15's taking a nice clean approach as well. It seems like everyone's a lot cleaner and a lot more single file this time, Sean.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, they were stacking them up here at the back, and we've already got a couple of trucks that are slowing off pace. The number 45 machine, Alex Pate, is off pace, and the number 88 machine, Steve Bennett, is way off pace. He still has damage on that truck.
Ooh, and it looks like Tommy Ryan's in trouble. He lost a ton of speed. Not sure exactly what happened there. Maybe we can go back and find out, but he is dropping like a rock. Ricky Harden is filed up in the first place, followed by Keith Medeiros. Ricky Harden is going to be one of the fast movers today. Ryan Howard also making an advantage of that turn as Tommy Ryan's falling all the way back to 5th place. Ty Hester has made it up into the top 5, Sean. So, yeah, looks like something went wrong there. I didn't exactly catch it, though.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at Tommy's truck now, and he's got some damage on the left rear and just caught a little bit of the fence there coming through the turn. Tommy is definitely a little bit off pace right now. Needs to try and, he's either going to hope for a yellow or find a way to get that truck back to full power.
Let's see here, and I'm looking for a good battle on track. We're pretty much single file throughout the whole entire grid. So now it's going to come down to playing the patience game to see who can make a mistake. But why don't we go up front to Ricky Harden and see exactly what he's doing. He is actually starting to pull away from Ryan Howard in that 33 car a little bit. So he is showing good pace today, trying to keep it nice and clean. He's going to be enjoying that lack of draft and that clean air in front of him. Ryan Howard right behind, so has no one contending him. The next car behind him is 4/10 behind, so that's going to be Keith Medeiros in the 22 car, running a very good clean pace. And then 1 second back from the leader is Ty Hester, also running by himself. So it looks like the top 4 running very fast and very consistently. They're just going to be minding their own business and having a little bit of good old-fashioned fun there, Sean.
Yeah, man, nice race there up front so far. It's really spreading out here at the back. Guys all in line, really nobody battling for position right now, trying to take care of the trucks. We've got a few of these guys still have a little bit of damage on those things. So right now it's conserve and just kind of take it easy. Plenty of time to get something done. And who knows, anything can happen in front of you. But great racing going on here so far as we get around on lap 10.
We are on board right now with Daniel Murphy in that yellow and black truck. I can't exactly read his sponsor there, but he is all over the back of the number 2 car with the Menards paint job. Everyone looking nice and tidy, though not too many pass attempts going. I am, however, looking at now Tommy Ryan under attack. I believe that's Tan Murray trying to find his way around, and there's smoke off to the left. I did not see what caused it, but there's a car spinning. I did not catch who that was. Everyone goes by. The yellow has not come out yet, but I have yet to see. I think that was the number 33, or excuse me, not the 33, the Jimmy John's car. Sean, did you see who that was?
You know what? I'm trying to pick it up right now. I didn't quite see it. I'm still, wow. Yeah, they're saying an echo. Tommy Ryan got into the wall. Still, he's still trying to get that truck under control and got into the wall there, and that caused that bit of action there. But as we said, we are still under green flag.
I want to say that was, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm a little lost for words trying to figure out exactly what happened there. I think that was the 48, but now that I'm going down the list, I don't think there is a 48 in this race, so we'll do a little bit of investigating. But now we're talking about Tommy Ryan. He is very good this track. Last week, or the last race, we heard so many people saying Tommy Ryan's going to be the guy to beat, so it's kind of a shock to see him on lap 12 struggling like he is. Now I'm watching Dan Murray right now. He's under attack by Jonathan Claudel in the 29 car. the black and red Toyota GTR racing truck. And then right behind him is Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones basically came out of nowhere in that GoPro truck and is now under attack. So it seems like everyone's starting to find that pace. I wonder if lap 13, lap 15 is where that the tires start to come in and these guys start feeling a little more comfortable pushing.
Got some 2 wide racing going on back here in turns 1 and 2. Oh, we got a truck in the wall, and he sees it. I believe that was. Oh no, that's the 01. The 01 is into the wall and hard damage there. Got caught up with the 37. Trying to get the names here. Sorry guys. Yeah, Beverly there in the wall, but they're still in a green flag racing.
Well, I'm looking at Daniel Murphy now. He's in the 75 truck. Right behind him is Jeffrey Gilliam, and I believe that is Jim Foose also in the mix. And these guys are all running nice and clean. And then the 42 car that was involved in the race earlier, that's Sean Music. He is also starting to get back on the hunt as well. So a lot of these cars that we saw spinning and crashing earlier don't seem to be affected overly too much because they're all starting to get a little more racy again, Sean.
Yeah, just going back to that little incident there a moment ago, just got back to DJ Beverly here. Truck's a little beat up right now. He is having a little bit of trouble with the handling. Jim Foose is trying to reel him in. Jim Foose started 27th up to 19th.
Ooh, we have a crash.
Had a little trouble. We got a crash.
That was the 7 of Michael Krobach. I'm going back just a little bit to see what happened. Looks like several cars getting involved, and I believe Jesse Fowler might have been one of them, but let me be sure here. I know for a fact that it was the number 7 of Michael Krobach involved there. I see the 98 involved. That's Jesse Fowler, and it just looks like a bunch of cars were trying to decide where to go and just ran into one another.
Yeah, they were checking up there up against the wall right there, and that's what brought that all together right there. Just a lot of cars there trying to go for the same space. One car checks up, and it started there and just causes that accordion effect like we just talked about. Michael Krobach in the middle of that sandwich there, unfortunately.
Skip Witt was another car involved, Sean, and he's having a not-so-great day already. I think that's the second time he's been involved with an incident. I could be wrong there, but needless to say, that was one of those incidents that you think could have been avoided if everyone was just sticking to the figuring out their pace and letting the faster cars safely make their way through the field. But however, this is a good chance to take a break. We are going to go to commercial. Once we get everything sorted out, we'll come back with the fastest movers and see a little bit more about what's going on under the yellow flag.
Friction is heat. You take an engine where the lifter goes up and down, pushes the valve up and down, it really gets hot right there. That's where oil breaks down and where we have failures. AMSOIL, on the other hand, it's a true synthetic lubricant. It's just idling right there. It doesn't even know it's being used. In other words, 300 degrees is whole hum to AMSOIL.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the ASRS AMSOIL Truck Series. We are live, round 5, at Darlington, South Carolina, and we are looking at the number 42 car who's just having a heck of a day. That's Sean Music, currently sitting in 21st place, and he's going to keep dropping as long as these pace lap keep going around. He's been T-boned today and caught up in other people's mistakes, and man, he has got to be frustrated sitting there in that car. But know who isn't frustrated right now is the 33 car. That's Ryan Howard, and he is currently our race leader. I don't think he went in for the last round of pit stops, he is definitely playing an alternative strategy, and it is working out real great for him right now. Let's go through the top 10, or excuse me, the top 5. No, we'll do top 10 real quick while we have time. In first place, we have the 33 of Ryan Howard, followed by the 15th of Ricky Harden. Right behind him is Todd Guerin. He's been playing a good race today. In fourth place, we have Keith Medeiros. In fifth place, we have Dan Murray and Jonathan Quiddell's. In sixth place, seventh place, we have Brandon Jones, followed by eighth place, Tim Johnston. And in ninth place, we have Tanner Sharp. And in eighth place, Aaron Cleanhands, who started 22nd today. So a good finding today is a lot of guys that started way back in the field are working their way up to the top. Now, we did see a bunch of guys get to go around. The field is going to be racking up on this time around. We have Ryan Howard and Ricky Harden going to be starting on the inside and outside. And now Ricky Harden, I believe, was the guy we had last week with the Petco driver. We're talking about the dented bones now, Sean. So let's see if we can get that doggy moving as we come back around and get ready to go racing.
Yeah, let's see if we can get him moving, get that tail wagging, baby. Hey, you know what? I'm going to check in with Jim Foose real quick here. All the way up to 11th now after finding some early trouble. Jim Foose is up to 11th, started in 27th place, was involved in that first caution of the race, and he's getting ready to go back green flag racing on the inside in 11th place, Brian.
Now it looks like the pace car is going to be peeling off here any second as we come around. You can see the beautiful Darlington scenery all around the track here. The pace car does go off, so Ryan Howard's going to be in control of the field. Unlike Tommy Ryan, he's taking a more conservative approach, not launching off right away, and he is taking it nice and easy. Now he's getting going. Nice little hop there. Ricky Harden right there on the gas. And it looked like Todd Guerin had a little bit of a bobble. He went down below the line just a little bit, but he is staying nice and clean. However, that is going to give Keith Medeiros a chance to run on him as he comes back around. Now let's see if Keith can keep it off the wall. He is running nice and clean, and it looks like everyone else is trying to go single file right below. They have all seen the perils that turn 2 can cause in this race, so they are looking to just keep it clean as we can get a few laps under and let these tires heat up.
Dan Krobach in a number 7 almost got into the back of Alex Bates there in number 45, and that caused a little bit of a stack up back here as we've got about 8 trucks right now running nose to tail, and the number 7 machine in Krobach just stuck down there on the inside. Can't get up into the good line.
No, and it looks like Sean Music told a bunch of people to go high, so I think a lot of these guys are going to file back to the back of the pack and just let people ride out for points. Now, it is interesting to say that a lot of these guys can make up a lot of points if they just finish, so just keeping the car moving rather than sitting out pit roads is going to help all the more. Now, it looks like Sean Music just put himself into the wall a little bit. I don't know if it was a hard hit or if he's just skipping it, but he is definitely having some handling issues, maybe some bent up suspension and damage underneath the bodywork. However, he's going to keep going for now despite his damage. And now I'm looking over at Dan Murray in the number 5 car. Brandon Jones is keeping a nice pace right behind him. Not a whole lot going on as far as competition goes, but these 3 guys have been running a very consistent pace. They are running a very high line here, but it's setting them up nicely for turn 4 as you see as they come around, and it's opening up passing opportunities coming into the start-finish line. So maybe that will be a strategy that plays out now as we see Dan Murray trying to get underneath Jonathan Quiddell. Now, there wasn't a lot of chance to get that pass going. He's going to file back under and try to get back up for turn 2. Another good place to get a run off, so it's going to be a good strategy call. I think turns 2 and turn 4 is where we're going to see a lot of passes now. It looks like Jonathan Quiddell, Sean, just had a little bit of a bobble trying not to stay on the wall, so Dan Murray's going to sneak by, and also I think that's going to be Tanner Sharp making his way down underneath. So a lot of guys trying different strategies all throughout the track.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ryan Howard is one great benefactor of an awesome pit stop. 4 tires and fuel and beat everybody out. Got himself out there on point and is out there in the clean air right now. He's opening it up on Ricky Harden right now.
Yeah, and he has the luxury of open space on the track. He can run flat out, he can get up as close to the wall as he wants, and he can take any line in the turn 2 as he wants, because there's literally no one around him. And I'll give you a little bit of an idea what that lead is like. It is currently 8/10 in that last lap, and coming around this time, he has increased his lead to 1.031 seconds. So Ricky Harden definitely going to be the man to beat now that Tommy Ryan is out of the picture. Now let's go back a little further.
Yep.
Actually, now it looks like we have a yellow
right
coming
here.
out. So Sean?
Yeah. You know, it all started with Mark Allen, actually. He had to check up, got up into the wall, and then there was trouble in front of him. I'm speeding up the 45. The 45 truck spinning, Alex Bates spinning in the middle of the speedway there. And we've got the 17. As I said, he was the first one to kind of start things going, and then up in front of him there, we had another one there with Alex Bates spinning in the middle of the track. Looks like Skip Whip was pretty lucky to get around that one after having some tough luck early.
Alex Bates definitely took the biggest part of that hit. We see him spinning around. Let's go around one more time and take another look at that replay. Everyone coming down the back straight, nice and good run through, and it just looks like not exactly sure what happens here. It looks like someone got up in the wall, slowed down, and then it just caused a chain reaction. Not a lot of place on the track to go, and one thing led to another, kind of like dodging cars with parachutes shooting out the back of them. Needless to say, that is going to be another yellow flag situation. So, Sean, let's go to take another short break real fast, and we'll come back with the top 5 after the pit stops.
We accomplished big things with so little effort. Just changed the rear end loop to AMSOIL. Totally did it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the round 5 of the ASRS AMSOIL Truck Series. We are looking down on Tommy Ryan, who's found his way back into the lead, but this might be a little interesting, seeing that he's had some trouble with the wall, and Ricky Harden's definitely going to be kind of sweating bullets as he sees that damaged car down below him. Now, I believe these cars are repairable at least once in the race, and since they're all on fixed setups, they are all on equal settings. So let's see if Tommy Ryan does have a chance to make a better push this time around.
Yeah, and he's going to get his shot to do it right now here, Brian.
Making sure I'm looking at the right car here. Now Tommy Ryan takes the lead. He gets a good push, but Ricky Harden has a much better launch this time around. They're almost side by side going into turn 1. Ricky Harden falls back just a little bit to give a little bit of room. Ryan Howard, the previous leader last time around, is right below the 15 of Ricky Harden. Now Ricky Harden's drafting like he's a super speedway, as Sean pointed out, and he is all over the back of Tommy Ryan. Tommy Ryan has a little bit of a bobble, but was able to hold on without touching the wall. He is definitely down on speed, though, as we see Ricky Harden diving down the bottom side. Now on the 54, that's Tom Guerin. He has found his way around Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard running out of a place to go, just barely scrapes the wall. I don't think he's going to lose too much speed, but now Tommy Ryan is all over the back of Ricky Harden once again. Ricky Harden trying to outrun Tommy Ryan, who is very proficient at this track, and Todd Guerin also in the fight, just barely touches the wall, is able to get away, and now it looks like everyone's starting to go single file. Very intense opening laps on lap 32, Sean.
Hey man, Skip Witt, I know we talked about him. He's making his way up through the field here, about to take over 17th spot from Sean Music. He gets it, no problem. He got around Michael Kunik and Michael Krobach just before that. Skip Witt just shot out of a cannon on that restart and is picking up positions left and right now as he gets back across the line. Lap 33. It's time to go, go, go for Skip Witt.
Looking at Jim Foose now as he's trying to work his way around that excuse me, I'm sorry, that was Brandon Jones who was trying to work his way around Jim Foose, but now it looks like Jeffrey Gilliam's also trying to work his way around. Foose takes a low line coming through, that leaves the 97, Paul Boswell in a weird spot, and now as there's no room for those cars to go. Oh, and Boswell attacks. The 61 goes down, and I don't know if he's going to hold on.
What a save. What a save by Boswell in the number 97. What a save. Almost tragedy there. Sean Music looking at his front window, just watching it all happen right in front of him, Brian.
If I'm Sean Music right now, I'm thinking what else can go on, and now the 61 touches the wall.
Just back in the wall. And here's Skip Witt into the mix. There's Skip on the outside with pressure down below there from the 42 Sean Music, and Skip gets the wall, catches the fence coming off the turn.
Yeah, Michael Kunik just barely makes it around. I think that was Michael Kunik. No, excuse me. Anyways, someone made it around nice and clean now. Everyone is trying to get back in the deal now. We have Sean Music right behind Paul Boswell. Boswell was just able to get going again. And man, Sean, this is a crazy couple of laps here. It looks like everyone's going nice in single file again. Let's get a little further up now. It looks like Brandon Jones is putting the pressure back on to Dan Murray, I believe that is. And wow, I just so much going on these last two laps. Let me get caught back up here, Sean.
No, that's fine, buddy. No problem. No problem. You know, again, still watching this race back here. Sean Music following Boswell and Gilliam here. These three trucks really battling for 14. Oh, and their contact. The 42 and the 97 Boswell and Music get together coming off the turn. The yellow's not out yet. I got to imagine it's going to come out. They're just sitting there in the track. And the yellow is not out. And they are still down there on the bottom trying to straighten the trucks up to get back to their power. No yellow flag after Music and Boswell get together coming off the turn.
We're watching right now as Sean Music comes around. He's taking a low line. He sees turn 2 coming as we are watching a replay, guys, and see exactly here. Yeah, it looks like he just taps the wall a little bit, has nowhere to go. Sean Music in the 42 gets wrapped up yet again in another incident. Man, if you're thinking Sean Music wants to have this race done, he is waiting for this race to be over and done with, Sean.
Yeah, and they had a great battle going on. I'm really surprised the yellow didn't come out there. Really fortunate for the rest of the field, but a tough break for them as they both got pretty good damage on those trucks. Going to go back to Skip Witt again, getting ready to take off another position here. He's got Stephen Marks right in front of him. Skip Witt about to get into the top 15, having a tough race, but man, he's certainly making it work right now. I think he saved that damage repair for that last pit stop right there, and now that truck is hooked up and coming towards the front. Still 10.5 seconds off the lead, but he's coming fast.
Absolutely. Now let's take a look up at the leader just because we've taken our focus away a little bit. It looks like trying to get caught back up here. I'm showing Ricky Harden in the lead, followed by Tommy Ryan. Now Tommy Ryan, despite his troubles earlier in the race, has made up a lot of pace and has seemed to get rid of those demons. So he is having a very nice run. Definitely pulling a lot more pace than Ricky Harden was able to pull earlier on. Now I'm showing Ricky Harden's in the lead with Ryan Howard and Tommy Ryan behind, so I might be just lagging a little bit in terms of live timing, but yet the drivers are running very clean races themselves. Keith Medeiros in 4th place is currently sitting back 1.6 seconds, and Todd Guerin, your top 5 finish here, is going to be almost 2 seconds behind now. It does not mean these guys are slow. They're having very good races, but let's look at Dan Murray. Dan Murray's leading the charge here as he has Jonathan Liddell and Aaron Cleanhands right behind him. These two guys have been running good races in the past here in this series. Dan excuse me, Dan Murray with a win already this season. He is not showing the pace today, but he is definitely looking to stay in the hunt for points. So, Sean, a lot of these previous winners also showing good pace and conservative strategies here in this race as well.
Yeah, and I'm watching this battle with Brandon Jones not doing a bad job there either. He's trying to get that number 32 machine up to the rear deck and clean hands, and they've got to look behind them. They've got another pack coming. Tim Johnston back there, Jim Foose still on to come. So lots of good racing going back here just outside the top 10. The front of the pack, though, those top 5 cars really seem to have opened it up on the rest of the field and have really spread out. Great race going on back here as we get ready to click off lap number 43.
Let's go look back here at Michael Krobach, who was wrapped up in some damage earlier today. He's already used his fast repair, it seems, because he has a big dented rear end. Right now he's trying to chase down Jesse Fowler for the next position, even though he is actually a lap back to Jesse, so he's going to be the leader of the cars 2 laps down. Saw another car peeling off in the pit road, but we're probably going to see cars coming in and out trying to get new tires with the damage. There really is no point to stay out on the track, getting in the way of the lead lap battles. The object's to finish and get as many points as we can. Now let's talk about the lead lap cars, Sean. There's 21 cars on the lead lap right now. Benny Ellison's the last one on the lead lap, and he's trailing by almost 30 seconds. So there is a pretty good spacing throughout the field with cars that are still battling in and out of the race.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a truck on this track right now that doesn't have a little bit of the Darlington stripe on them. I'm just scanning throughout the field, and everybody is having trouble in 2 right now, and we got a few guys still having trouble coming off of 4, but some of these trucks aren't handling very well right now, and that can be an issue out there as these leaders start to catch the back of the field. Benny Ellison, Jeffrey Belt, Michael Koenig, James Cravula, those guys are going to need to be on their toes because the leaders are coming. And there's, as we talked about, not a lot of room to get things done here, so you're going to have to pick your spots. Those leaders are going to have to be on their toes too and make good decisions about where they're going to go. Howard is in the lead now, Ryan.
Yeah, I don't like Ricky Harden coming out of turn 2. Had a little bit of a bobble. It was enough to lose enough speed to give it to Ryan Howard. I got the 2, Ricky and Ryan, screwed up there. Ryan Howard, though, is the leader. Now, it was interesting because Ricky Harden was gaining about a 10th per lap and then just had a little mistake. Now, I'm wondering if that means that these tires aren't doing very well as the laps go on. We know a few guys did not go in for pits as we see them coming around through lap traffic. That is Jeffrey Belt now that they're going past. I'm just wondering now, I'm seeing a lot of cars getting a little slippery looking, if that's actually going to come into a factor as well.
Yeah, well, you know what? Tires are definitely a factor here. I mean, it's an abrasive track, and it's also, with the way the banking is and as narrow as the space is here, they get hot, they burn off pretty quick, and, overdriving the truck doesn't help either. As we see right now, Tommy Ryan make his way on the outside there of Jeffrey Belt. Jeffrey kind of moves out of the way and lets those guys come around here. Good job, Jeffrey.
Excuse me as I have a little bit of a sore throat myself, just getting a glass of water. Ricky Howard making his way through lap traffic now. We'll see that is Stephen Petit now, who is causing a little bit of a problem. Ricky Harden has nowhere to go. He has to ease off just a little bit. Ricky Harden playing a little more patient, trying to find a way around. Now, this could be serving as a pick now because look at this. There's just absolutely no room between these cars and the wall. Now, Ryan Howard did have a good run. Ricky Harden just behind him, also making it through. But now we have another car. That's Michael Koenig to get around. Michael Koenig's going to get out of the way, but turn 1 and 2 is going to be a different story for Ricky Harden. Ryan Howard might be looking. Well, he just solved that point before I got to it. So now Tommy Ryan's the one affected by the lap traffic, Sean.
Yeah, but Ryan Howard broke through that really clean. He's still got more traffic in front of him, but Howard is fast. He's been flexing that muscle all race, and right now it looks like the truck to beat. Ricky Harden, though, not giving up the ghost. He's digging hard, looking to get there to the rear deck there, Ryan Howard. But right now it's Ryan Howard running away, and it looks like he's got Jeffrey Gillum in his sights.
Scary moment from Tommy Ryan as he is coming around Michael Koenig. There was nowhere to go in turn 2. He slammed on the brakes. That gave Todd Guerin just behind nowhere to go. And then Keith Medeiros had nowhere to go as well. So a lot of these guys that were trying to make up that time again got stonewalled. There was a little bit of a traffic jam, but Michael Koenig was graceful enough to get out of the way. So Let's go to the top 5 real quick. Ryan Howard in the lead right now, trailing by 0.7 is Ricky Harden. Tommy Ryan is 2 seconds back, or 2.5 seconds back. He's in 3rd place, followed by Todd Guerin, who's right on his bumper in that 54 car. Keith Medeiros is in 6th place, or excuse me, that's 5th place, and Ty Hester's in 7th. In 8th place, we have Dan Murray, followed by Brandon Jones in 9th. And in 10th place, we have Tanner Sharp. So right now, let's talk about Tanner Sharp. Tanner Sharp's had a pretty good, clean race so far. He's been kind of quiet throughout the season, putting out some middle-of-the-pack finishes, but also having some pretty good runs. I am guessing he's going to come down and win a race later on this season. He is such a good driver. I'm just very surprised he hasn't gotten it done yet. Maybe bad luck has come to play with that, Sean.
Well, that Coors Light Chevy is looking good. Tanner's out there running really well right now. After starting in 23rd tonight, he's up to 10th, working hard tonight. Has avoided the troubles. Got a clean truck. He's clear in front and clear behind right now. Just dealing with clean racetracks out there, running his race. 10th place is locked up for him right now in lap 52. It's almost go time here. Ryan, we've got just 22 laps to go in this thing.
Jeffrey Belt's in trouble now as he got up on the wall. He is up on the wall on 2 wheels. Lost a ton of speed. No yellow has come out yet, but a lot of cars had to scramble to get past him. That was definitely one of those oh crap moments that you see in iRacing. As we go back to replay, let's see if we can get another shot at what happened there. I think what he was trying to do was give room to the car passing below. And there we go now, trying to get below there and just doesn't have enough room or enough grip in his tires to get it done. You can see it's very tight going through there and just rides that wall all the way around turn 4. Turn 4 is definitely one of those turns, Sean, that we talked about earlier in this race being a huge factor. That almost became a victim binding attack there.
Yeah, it really did. And how about the job there by those guys getting Dan Murray, just getting by him there and right near to, I don't know, was that the Brandon Jones also getting by him right there? They just almost got a piece of Jeffrey Belt there and almost caused serious damage to both of their trucks.
Yeah, that was a scary moment indeed. Now, I'm trying to find a good battle here on the track. I'm looking now, and it seems like Tommy Ryan and Todd Guerin in the 54 truck are the best battles currently on the track. They have some damage or some truck to deal with now as the 61 car is right below them. He is graceful and gets out of the way, so that becomes a non-factor. But we are looking at the damaged number 7 truck of Michael Krobach, trying to get out of the way in turn 4. Not a lot of grip, but he's slowed down quite a bit, so he is going to get out of the way. It looks like the back markers have started to play a little more respectful games. We are seeing guys as far back as 3 laps down on regulation laps, and as far as 52 out of the race for Jared Haggerty. I think these guys are starting to realize that they're not getting those laps back anytime soon, especially in lap 56 to 74.
Yeah, and you know, Jim Fuchs, the last truck on the lead lap right now, this green flag run has done exactly what we thought it might do, and it's just spread out the field. The cream at the top there, Ryan Howard, Ricky Harden, Tommy Ryan, Todd Guerin, all just getting around this track way too fast for the guys at the back. And right now, again, Jim Fuchs at risk of going a lap down here. We've only got 15 cars left on the lead lap, and we're in the closing moments of this race. Exciting battles going on. Foose is trying to get to Marks. Marks had just got around him a few laps ago, and right up in front of them, they've got Skip Witt, who's still grinding, still trying to find a way to get into the top 10.
Yeah, we just saw Tommy Ryan up in the wall a little while ago, losing a bunch of speed. He's going to file back to 5th place. He gave room to the 54 Todd Guerin and to the 22 of Keith Madeira. Now, I was kind of shocked to see that Tommy Ryan was falling so far back, because right before that, the 22 car of Keith Medeiros was in the wall, dragging a little bit. So these guys definitely feeling the fatigue come on now. And Ryan Howard now just burning up all of this traffic. He is 3.5 seconds ahead of the leader, and he is also 4.5 seconds ahead of 3rd place. Having a very good race today. Ryan Howard, the man to beat.
Yeah, well, Tommy Ryan had to work around a little trouble there, had to get his way around Jeffrey Gillum, and so did Ty Hester, who's trying to battle here with Tommy. Take that fifth place spot away from him as they're dealing with some back marker traffic in front of him. Interesting battle as they fight it out here.
Well, let's take a quick second, Sean. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. They do it using AMSOIL truck parts and lubricants. to keep their engines running. Let's talk a little bit today, Sean, about some of the fastest movers in the field. Now, right now, Ryan Howard, the race winner, has led a lot of laps today, or not winner, leader. He started in 4th place. He hasn't won yet, but he's putting on a good show. He started in 4th place. He's currently sitting in 1st. Right behind him is Ricky Harden. He has started in 3rd place, and he is currently in 2nd. Who are the biggest movers that you're seeing today, Sean?
Well, right now it's Tanner Sharp, who we were talking about a few minutes ago. Tanner Sharp, 23rd up to 10th. Kleenhaus right behind him, in 12th spot right now. Or I'm sorry, in 11th. He come all the way up from 22nd. So those guys having, Jim Foose, I know we've mentioned it several times. Jim's been battling tonight. I mean, he did start in 27th. He still has a top 15 run going. Been involved in a couple of different yellow flags, and still, out there just digging. Stephen Marks right in front of him. He started this race at 31st, and he's up to 14th. So a lot of guys from the back taking advantage of these yellows and playing some good strategy and getting their way back up through the field.
And it looks like right now, let's talk about some of the other race winners we've had this season. Tommy Ryan, currently he was on the pole for the race, scoring a 30.045 for qualifying. He has definitely had a few issues today of keeping the car clean, keeping it off the wall. Right now, he is currently sitting in 5th place, right behind Keith Medeiros and Ricky Harden, racing very hard. Dan Murray, who's a little ways back, he's currently 15 seconds off the the leader. He started 5th today's race, and he has filed back to 9th. I don't know if he's had too many issues with damage. However, he has had a few issues keeping the speed up. This might not be a track that favors his style. We know he did very well at Martinsville, and he did very well at a few other tracks. And man, with the commentator's courage, I just saw him smack the wall very hard. So that is not going to do him any favors at all.
Yeah, I'm watching the front right now. Ryan Howard, just everybody is got the red cape out, just rolling that red carpet out for him and moving out of the way. Ryan Howard's not facing any opposition right now. He continues to open his lead up to now over 5 seconds, which on this track is just about an eternity. All Ryan Howard needs now is a green flag to wrap this race up.
Absolutely, and Ryan Howard is running very strong. Now let's just call that the end of our Through the Field section with the AMSOIL Through the Field segment. When the going gets tough, the tough get up to speed with a long line of products made by America's original synthetic oils. AMSOIL has been making high-performance lubricants since 1972. Contact Adam Blattel, the official AMSOIL's dealer for the American Sim Racing Series, to find out how you too can get up to speed. Now it looks like Ryan Howard has increased his lead to 5.3 seconds. He is managing the traffic very well today. Todd Guerin now has moved up to 2nd place. Now I've seen a few other cars having some issues with the wall, so I'm wondering if tires are a factor. Todd Guerin has played it very safe and very concise, and of course, right as I say that, he smacks the wall coming out of turn 2. Ricky Harden's a little ways back from him. He is 7 seconds down from the lead, and he is involved with a 3-way battle for 3rd place. Right behind him, Keith Medeiros and Tommy Ryan are in a mix. Now, actually, it looks like Medeiros is in trouble because he just fell on back a little ways as well, so he is off the pace. Now, Jared Haggerty in that 57 Power Rangers truck is a couple laps down, but it looks like he finally got his repairs done because he is running a very good pace, trying to get everything he can, and Keith Medeiros falling like a rock. Ty Hester blows right past him, Sean, so Keith Medeiros looking like he's in trouble.
And these tires, man, it's been almost 40 laps now. Most of these guys up front are working on about lap 40 with these tires, maybe about 38, 39 right now. But man, these tires are starting to go around these trucks, and you're seeing some of these guys have to start arcing off these turns, and that will lose you a lot of time here as we see Todd Guerin start to even fall back a little bit further. But now he's got some lap traffic he's got to work through here. He could just sit tight here. He's only got just about 6 laps left, but he is battling this lap traffic in front of him right now as he comes up on the Jeffrey Belt machine. The 102 there, he's got some work to do to get around him.
Now let's talk about Tim Johnson real quick. He is having some issues in turn 2. He is bobbing all over the place, and Aaron Cleanhands just got around him. Now literally Tim Johnson is driving the wheels off of his car, and almost too literally there as he is showing the wear and tear on his vehicle. So Aaron Cleanhands is going to pass him. That's going to put Mr. Tim Johnson in 12th place this time around, and they are one of the last couple cars there on the lead laps with Skip Witt just a couple about a second behind them at this time. So Tim Johnson, you know, he's been one of those drivers that haven't gotten into too many trouble with incidents. He has been a very consistent driver. I believe at Martinsville he ran into some trouble, but I think everybody did, if you remember back to how many yellows there were during that race. So let's give our hats off to Tim Johnson for a good race today. He had started 15th and he is up to 12th, so good race there for Tim.
Yeah, well, Tim's got me wanting to go get a Frosty right now, so might even settle for a vanilla one. Skip Witt still working hard behind him. Been a tough race for Skip, but he is going to look like he is going to wrap this thing up in top 15 here, hopefully. That'll be a nice run for Skip after some early trouble. But Kleinhein's holding on to 11th place right now, and it's just a couple of seconds up to 10th if they want to get into 10th place.
And it looks like Skip Witt hit the wall pretty hard, and he's in trouble trying to get that thing back under control, sliding all over that back straight. But it looks like he's collecting the car now.
No,
he's scrape on the wall,
he's back
though.
on the fence. Yeah, he's back in it. Oh, man. There's nothing left to that truck. Poor Skip.
He's reminded me of Denny Hamlin a couple years back at Bristol, bouncing his car off the wall just to get it done. You know, it's not how you finish the race. Sometimes it's the journey of how you got there. So Skip Witt desperately trying to stay on the lead lap, being the last one on the lead lap, and putting on a heck of a show while doing it.
Yeah, and Christopher getting right behind him there, just kind of being patient and saying, okay, what do I do? Poor Skip, he can't stay off that wall all right now. That truck is really, it may not have any sheet metal on the side of it left when we get done with this thing.
I'm looking at Todd Guerin now as he is 8 seconds back from the leader. I just don't think there's any way that Ryan Howard's going to lose this race unless something dramatic happens here. We are on lap 73. Let's keep an eye on the leader as he makes his way around one or two more times to finish this race off. Ryan Howard has been a heck of a drive today. His average lap time somewhere around 31.3 and managing the traffic like the pro. So Ryan Howard going to be another winner in this series of the last 5 races that be added onto the placard board. Now, you know, Ryan Howard, I don't remember him having such strong finishes. Now, I know he's one of the fastest drivers in the series, Sean, but has he gotten it done yet this year? I don't think he's even had a top 3 to my memory.
No, this will be Ryan's first win this season, and you know, all he needs now is to just get through the turn here, and it's going to be all his. Skip it up in front of him, still having a little bit of trouble with that truck. Here comes the checkered flag. Ryan Howard's going to roll across. Your winner, Ryan Howard, in a number 33 DIYSim.com truck. Todd Guerin brings it home in second. Ricky Harden in third. Keith Medeiros in fourth. And Ty Hester manages a 5th place finish in the number 68 Jimmy John's Machine. Freaky fast.
Good race by all the drivers here. Now we're going to watch Ryan Howard as he comes around on his finishing lap. Let all the cars get off so he can go burn them up. We know how that's kind of the tradition in NASCAR, and especially in the ASRS series. We see him slowing down now, going down on the logos, and he goes straight into a power slide. He doesn't even wait to slow down. He is already into his burnout now as we see Ryan Howard burning it up, winning the Round 5 ASRS AMSOIL Truck Series, putting on a heck of a show and getting it done like a pro. Well, at this time, folks, we are going to go to break as we let everybody go down pit road and get situated. We'll come back in a few minutes for some driver interviews and to wrap this broadcast up. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you in a few. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the live broadcast of the ASRS AMSOIL Truck Series, Round 5 at Darlington, and we just watched a heck of a race down here in South Carolina. We're going to go over the results now. They are, of course, unofficial until the admins get a chance to look at them, but taking the win tonight by a large margin of 8.4 seconds is Ryan Harden. Right behind him was Todd Guerin, and in third place we had Ricky Harden. In fourth place we had Keith Medeiros. In fifth place we had Ty Hester. In sixth place, we had Jonathan Goodell. In eighth place, we had Brandon Jones. In ninth place, Dan Murray. And in 10th place, Tanner Sharp.
All right, I'm going to make a quick correction there, Brian. It was Ryan Howard that finished first tonight, and Ricky Harden that finished third.
Sorry, I do that so much.
All right, well, back here in 11th place, nice run for Aaron Cleanhans, in the number 85 machine. Comes from 22nd to finish 11th there. Skip Witt, we talked about him a bunch tonight. It's good job by Skip there to just really keep that truck going tonight. And he finishes on the lead lap in 12th place. Stephen Marks there a lap down, first truck a lap down, but came from all the way in 31st place to do it. Stephen Marks finishes 13th tonight. Jim Foose, tough night for Jim, just kept finding the trouble, but did start in 27th and winds up brings it home in a 14th place finish. Jim Foose, 14th. Jeffrey Gillum finishes the night in 15th after starting 24th. Jeffrey found a little bit of trouble tonight. It was a tough go for him, but he does stay in the top 15. Tommy Ryan. Tommy starts on the pole and finishes 16th. Tough night for Tommy. Looked like he had a chance there early, but found that wall and got a little damage on that truck and then just got involved in some of that mess out there and finishes 16th tonight. DJ Beverly, we saw him out there a bunch, starts 16th, finishes 17th. DJ Beverly. Christopher Ginn finishes 18th tonight in number 62 machine. Michael Kudik Michael Kudik in 19th in the number 34 machine. And Jeffrey Belton in number 102 rounds out the top 22 laps down in 20th place there, Brian.
Jesse Fowler finished in 21st, and right behind him was James Krahula. Also had kind of a down race for him. He started in 12th and fell all the way back to 22nd place, so that was a rough night for James. Mark Allen was in 23rd, followed by Alex Bates in 24th. Benny Allison came in 25th, followed by Michael Krobach. In 27th place, we had Stephen Patet, followed by Paul Boswell. He had a rough night as well. And Sean Music actually was one of the sponsors for tonight. Well, we might talk about that later tonight if we get a chance, but worth mentioning, Sean, definitely not a night he wants to remember. Steve Bahula came in 30th place, followed by Daniel Murphy. And to finish out the field, we had Jared Haggerty, who actually ended 55 laps down, was one of the first people out of the race, and just didn't have the night tonight. So that will round out the field. Now, we do have a couple interviews here tonight. The first is going to be Ricky Harden, who was, I believe, the third place finisher for tonight's race. So hopefully I don't call him Ryan Harden by accident. Let's get him down here. So, Ricky, you had a great race tonight. It looks like Tommy Ryan had your number to start the race, but he hit the wall a few times. And then we had this other Ryan Howard come out of nowhere and just kind of outrun the field. What happened there?
Well, yeah, I think Tommy had the truck to beat tonight, and Keith Medeiros kind of just didn't lift going into 3 early on and just booted him right into the wall. I think he had a lot of damage after that. So, I had a pretty good truck, but when Ryan got in front of me, Ryan was really fast, and I've raced Ryan for a long time. We used to race each other back in DMP and NASCAR 2003 days, and he was always really fast back then. So that's no shock to me, but I overdrove it a little bit, just trying to keep up with him, and hit the wall a couple times, and it really, really hurt the toe on my truck.
Speaking of toe and the tires, I mean, it looked like a lot of guys were slipping and sliding. What were the tires like tonight?
Yeah, the weather was pretty warm, and it made it hard to get grip. We were just searching for grip all night long. I was actually really surprised there. After the last caution, Tommy Ryan stayed out and took the lead on like 10-lap-old tires, and he actually held in there pretty good. Better than I would have thought, anyway. But, yeah, it was not a lot of grip.
And then I believe, is it Kansas? I think Kansas is the next truck race. Do you have any preference going into that race?
I have never driven a truck at Kansas. I've only driven that track once or twice, and I did not like it at all. It's It's a lot like Darlington in some ways, in that it seems like the preferred groove is right up against a wall, and it's really hard to get off of that groove. It's slick everywhere else. So I don't know what to expect. We'll find out.
At least you won't have to worry about that wall coming out of turn 2 again for a while now. You had a great race tonight. I just want to say congratulations, and we look forward to seeing the next one with you.
All right, I appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
And then joining us after them was Jim Foose, and I believe Sean's actually going to have a talk with him.
Hey, Jim, welcome to the booth. How you doing tonight?
Hey, pretty good. Just glad to be out of Darlington, you know.
Yeah, man. They don't call it too tough to tame for nothing, man. That track is just a mess. It's I mean, I love the track. I love the history in it, but man, it sure is tough. It can make you angry, right, Jim?
Well, you know, this week we have Tide on board as well as Menards, but had the Tide paint job in the orange, as I'm sure you saw, and all the traditions at Darlington with Tide and everything. But just went through the spin cycle on the first turn of the race and recovered, but had a little bit of damage that kind of held us back. So I guess you could say we kind of bounced around all night long with that. But just glad that the Tide kind of went in our favor towards the end.
Yeah, the Tide literally. Yeah, that Tide ride was looking sweet tonight. I really love the paint on that thing tonight. But Jim, tell us a little bit about our sponsor tonight, Driven Designs. I understand you're a little bit involved with that here in your spare time, but Driven Designs was the sponsor of tonight's race here at Darlington. Let's hear a little bit about them from you.
Yeah, Driven Designs is the exclusive paint provider for Jim Foose Motorsports. It's really started as myself in late 2013. We just had did a couple base schemes. Didn't like them really for my own stuff, but thought that some other people would like them, and kind of started putting it out there. Got a lot of feedback on some stuff. So a lot of people were interested in what we were doing, and so we decided to open up a page. And Steve Buhala, who drives the 12 truck, came on board. He's our second painter, and you know, it's just two guys that enjoy doing what they do and have some fun with it on the side. And I'll make a whole lot of money doing it, but like I said, it's really a kind of a fun thing. And you know, they have a lot of fans on our Facebook page and a lot of really cool things. So really happy to be a part of it and have them as a sponsor and be able to sponsor the trucks that we do in the league here, sponsor the league, and also sponsor the race tonight. So pretty cool deal for us. And you know, if you're looking for paint scheme, look us up on Facebook. That's our main thing. We don't want to have a website out there or anything, but did a couple gigs with a couple real race teams, a lot of sim racing stuff, a couple racetracks, got some logos done from us, websites, things like that. So we can pretty much do any kind of graphic design, a little bit of grassroots marketing for you with Driven Design. So that's pretty much what we do.
Well, that's great, man. That's really good. I'm sure you got several trucks out there running your paints now, but we'll certainly look for you on Facebook. Another great race here tonight at Darlington. You got to feel pretty good about how the season is going. You know, you head off to Martinsville next week, and that should be an exciting race there. How are you looking to finish at Martinsville? How are your skills there, Jim?
I think I escaped Martinsville a couple weeks ago. Kansas is coming up in May, so last year we were doing really solid there at Kansas, and actually got wrecked running second by my good old buddy Ty Hester. So we all know how that season ended.
Yeah, sorry I got that. Yeah, you are at Kansas next, and Kansas, I'm sure, will bring lots of excitement. But Jim, just another great great run here for your league tonight. Always happy to run here with the ASRS, and you guys put on a great show, and we appreciate you. And thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We'll see you. I think Tuesday night we'll have you guys at Richmond for our Cup Series, and be supporting a good friend of ours, Vicky DeCourcy, with that race. So she passed away last month, unfortunately, but have a race in her memory, and I'm really proud that we can represent her and her family.
Yeah, and that'll be fun next Tuesday night there under the lights at Richmond. Really looking forward to it, Jim. Thanks again for coming up in the booth with us, and we'll see you next week.
Well, Guys, this is the part of the broadcast I hate to do the most, but it is necessary. We would like to thank the leaders and league organizers of this league, Jim Foose, who's the president and lead organizer, and all of the sponsors involved with making this race happen. We would also like to thank Adam Littell for sponsoring the race and helping us put on a great show. He, of course, is our regional AMSOIL director, and he is also a big part of getting the job done here. We'd also like to thank the makers of various software and hardware that helps make this stream possible, including iRacing.com, XSplit, Audio Technica, and AverMedia. Thanks to the team today, Sean and Joe, of course. I almost said Amjad Yaman, but of course he's not with us. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, you can find it at www.globalsimracingchannel.com, along with archived races and race highlights. We are also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at facebook.com/Global Sim Racing Channel. A big thanks goes to Dougie Beard for creating the camera sets that you saw during this stream. A special thank you goes to Eric Eckholm, who provides us with much of the music. You can find it not only here on GSRC, but in TV commercials, movie trailers, iTunes, and Spotify. If you like the music, tell Eric where you heard it at ericeckholm.com. Well, until next time, fans, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.